I want to thank the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Deputy Speaker and my colleagues for allowing the bill for all elections in Nigeria to be held same day to pass through second reading. It was contained in an earlier proposal, which didn't scale through last year, but it was brought back again, and the House, in its wisdom today, confirmed and agreed that this bill is due to go for second reading, pass second reading. And this is a bill seeking for amendment of the Constitution to provide that the election to the office of President, the office of Governor, the office of Senate, Senator, House of Representatives, State Assembly, and local government elections should all be conducted in one day. And whether you like it or not, this is very historic in our nation's democratic history. Coming from a background of worse, voter apathy, crisis, and election manipulation, holding all elections in one day in Nigeria will achieve major things like: one, it will reduce costs. So instead of going 2-3 Saturdays to do this election, paying the same INEC staffs and ad hoc staffs and so on and so forth, we can put all these elections in one basket in one day. Then voter apathy. Normally, when somebody that is supporting a presidential candidate feels the presidential candidate has lost, he may not turn out to vote for state assembly. But now we're going to have supporters of presidential candidates, supporters of senatorial candidates, rep candidates, governorship candidates, state assembly candidates, local government. You can imagine how the polling unit is going to be very busy. And then for election security, now you're going to have almost about 12 agents or 3 agents for one party times the number of party participating. So the number of agents in that polling unit has already formed a security ring around the electoral process. And that will ensure that those who normally come to frighten voters and run away, you're going to see not less than 500, 1,000 people in one polling unit. So in terms of reducing costs, all election holding in one day in Nigeria is coming at the right time. In terms of security, it's coming at the right time that people try to snatch ballot and don't want election to be uploaded and so on and so forth. Then in terms of saving hours, so instead of locking down the country for 2-3 Saturdays, we can have all this election in one day. And again, in terms of credibility of the process, remember that if we have all election in one day, the accreditation that is used for the state assembly or local government or house of rep is the same accreditation for the presidential election. So we don't have a situation whereby after a house of rep or senatorial candidates have been declared with 40,000 accreditation, the presidential election result is showing 1 million. Because already people have collected their result at that lower level before we even start getting to the state level where we're going to compile the governorship and the presidential. So this attitude of maybe somebody is losing a governorship election and he calls people and says, okay, we have lost 2 local government. Can you hold down the result of Southern Zone? And then we need like 30,000 votes. Then they will intimidate everybody and raise it to 30,000 votes. You cannot do that again because that 30,000 you are adding is not in the result sheet that is already with the House of Assembly or local government chairman who has already emerged. So we're going to put a cap on accreditation and to make the process a little bit transparent. So to me, it will save Nigeria cost. It will bring more unity and cohesion. It will bring active participation of every Nigerian. It will reduce electoral violence and thuggery, and it will make the process a bit credible. So I must be honest with you that I'm so happy that the House of Representatives this afternoon considered that the bill should go for third reading by approving it. Second reading, sorry. It passed the second reading today, yes. So it's going for third, committee and third, yes.
Okay, so great. And another bill that was to your name has to do with the bill seeking to vest INEC with the power to conduct local government area council elections. Can you also speak to this?
It's in the same quest for credible and democratic, transparent process. We all have seen how state independent electoral commission across all parts of the country have been conducting local government elections. Most of them have not met the standard of a credible electoral process, especially participation. So because of that, in 1999-98, when federal INEC, Independent National Election, conducted local government election, you saw how transparent it was. Candidates from UNCP, different political parties won that election. Same in 99. So immediately the governors started asserting their constitutional powers of conducting that election. We saw a situation whereby there was even no primary. The governor just came and read out the list of candidates. Then there was even no voting. There was even no election. And the governor came and said, this person are the people who won. So it will have descended to a level whereby there's even no election at all. Whereby there's even no primary. There's even no voting. There's even no ballot. In that state, they didn't even print ballot paper. Nobody came out to vote. But they have local government. I feel that Nigerians are yearning for a working local government. All over the world, The catalyst for national development is activities at the local government. That is what will grow agriculture. That is what will grow security. That is what will grow empowerment and so on and so forth. A country without a working local government is going to have insecurity, is going to have poverty, is going to have crisis, and that's what's happening in Nigeria because you have removed that layer of government. And then the states, in most of the states, they are mismanaging their fund. And that part of the reason is that how these local governments emerge. Most of them don't emerge through a transparent democratic process. So they owe allegiance to the person who appointed them. So, but if we now allow INEC to conduct local government elections simultaneously with all other elections in different parts of the country. You can see a son of a school teacher, if his villagers love him, can emerge as a councillor, can emerge as a local government chairman, and they'll be accountable to the people. And you need this aspect to complement what the president has done by releasing or insisting that allocation of local government should go directly to the local government. That aim will be defeated if the process of electing those who administer it is at the mercy of the governor. That means even when you send the allocation directly, the chairman will surrender it.
5 of the 1999 Constitution gives the president the power to suspend and the power to declare a state of emergency. But it does not give him the power to suspend an elected governor. This action is a clear abuse of power, threat to democracy, and a dangerous precedent. The people of Rivers State elected Governor Fubara, and any attempt to remove him must be done through constitutional means. We call on all well-meaning Nigerians to reject this attack on democracy and demand that the president, in his wisdom, reverse the declaration, which is the provision of our constitution, which is sworn to uphold. Governor Similaye Fubara was unfairly treated. President Tinubu ought to have also sanctioned the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, who has featured prominently and actively in this whole political chaos in the state for the sake of fairness and equity. Call for investigation into recent explosions at oil and gas installations in Rivers State. We use this medium to express our deepest concern over the recent purported explosions at oil and gas installations across Rivers State. While the truth has emerged from the operators of the Trans-Niger pipeline at Border Community proves that there was no such explosions in their facility, these incidents pose serious threats to lives, the environment, and the economic stability of our state. It has also come to our knowledge that these purported explosions are being deliberately masterminded by the enemies of our state to create false narrative of anarchy, thereby justifying an extension of the state of emergency beyond the prescribed 6 months. This calculated act of sabotage must not allow to succeed. We call on the sole administrator, His Excellency Ibok Ete-Abbas, and relevant security agencies to conduct a thorough investigation into the immediate and remote cause of these purported explosions. If found the act of sabotage, the perpetrators must be identified and brought to justice to face the full weight of the law. We also recall that in a proactive effort to safeguard the state's economy assets, Governor Similaye Fubara handed over a surveillance helicopter to the Nigerian Air Force to enhance security, boost surveillance, and ensure steady growth in oil production. The donation of the Augusta Westland AW139 helicopter is a clear demonstration of the governor's commitment to peace, stability, and the protection of national economic assets. It beats our imagination that despite such bold efforts made by Governor Fubara, the president in his declaration speech said the governor did nothing to discourage, the governor did nothing to discourage those involved in the destruction of pipelines. How best can a governor provide security and deter crime, if not through the provision of adequate equipment for the security agencies to execute their task? While we leave this question to the presidency, we must emphasize that this momentum must be maintained to protect our oil and gas infrastructure from any attacks and prevent any disruption to our state's economic progress. Furthermore, we strongly advise Rivers youth and any individuals involved in economic sabotage, such as the destruction of oil and gas installations, to desist immediately and embrace lawful means of livelihood. Such criminal acts not only devastate our environment and aquatic life, but also hinder socioeconomic progress, set our state backward, and drive away potential investors. It is imperative that all stakeholders work together to safeguard our critical infrastructure and ensure the sustainable development of River State. Our stand against purported appointment of sole administrator of local government areas in River State. We have received credible reports of ongoing plans to appoint sole administrators in the local government areas of River State. We strongly condemn this unconstitutional move, as it directly negates the provision of the Nigerian Constitution. The Supreme Court has already voided the appointment of caretaker committees or any other unelected bodies, regardless of the name they are given, while the law does not encourage governance. While the law does not encourage governance vacuum, Governor Fubara, in adherence to the Supreme Court ruling, nullified the local government elections, lawfully instructed the heads of civil service in the local government areas to continue the administrative functions of their respective councils. Any attempt to override the Supreme Court ruling by appointing sole administrators will only escalate the political crisis in the state. Such a move will be perceived as a desperate ploy by the FCT minister and his allies to hijack the local government system through unconstitutional means, and it must be rejected by all well-meaning Nigerians. Our commitment to Governor Fubara and Rivers people. The Simplicity movement stands firm with Governor Similai Fubara, GSS ROS. We are confident that the truth will prevail and that in not this time, the president will realize that he was misinformed about the real situation in Rivers State and return the state into constitutional democracy. We remain committed to peace, justice, and the rights of Rivers people, and we believe that Rivers State will surmount this challenge and normalcy shall return soonest. This is signed by myself, Ugochinyere. Simplicity movement. On good governance we stand. Simplicity movement. On good governance we stand.
Please allow me to, in fact, I cannot stand on existing protocols because I don't want to ask for a visa before I get back to Abeokuta today. The chairman of this occasion, I have to, I'm sure you people understand me very well. Vice President represented here, the celebrant, General Obasanjo, Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and my uncle is here, you're welcome. Well, let me stand on existing protocols after that. Of course, my Ogas are here, Oga Mansari and Mrs. Olukwete. I can forget about Tambo, my junior in this business. And of course, my dear brother, you're welcome. Senator Mark, I must adopt whatever Senator David Mark has said, because as you know, he was the chairman when I was Speaker in the House, so I therefore not join any issues with him. Now, I must also clear an issue here by adopting whatever Balogun also said. See, Osita, you are looking for trouble on this age matter. You see, officially, 92, officially. But those of us who know anything about Abeokuta, there may be an unofficial age sitting here. I said maybe. Let me just try to remember, I don't want to ask for a visa before I get back to Abeokuta, so please don't get me into trouble here. Osita, I will tell you a small story, and you can take it wherever you want to take it to. You see, in those days, some people do not require birth certificates. They will just say he was born when that church was built. He was born when that bridge was built. I'm not saying anything, no. But I'll tell you about a school in Abeokuta called Baptist Boys High School. It's a great school. My son graduated from that school a couple of years ago. I graduated from that school somewhere in the 1960-61. My grandfather graduated from that school about 15 years before General Obasanjo. If he was alive today, the man would be around 130 years old. So, I rest my case.
Yes. The Congress leader has started well, he has started a war. Suffice it to say that I hear him loud and clear.